The atmospheric processor hummed its monotonous rhythm as Elsa checked the xenobiology scanner for the third time that hour. Kepler 442b's dense jungle canopy registered thousands of life forms, each one catalogued, analyzed, and marked with bright red warnings in the expedition database. Do not engage. "Alex hasn't checked in," she said, her voice cutting through the sterile air of the mobile research station. Commander Voshitar's chitinous plates clicked together in what the translation matrix rendered as a sigh. The Zentari expedition leader had seen too many human researchers over his 15-year career. They were brilliant, adaptable, and maddeningly unpredictable. "When was his last transmission?" Voshitar asked. 4 hours ago. He was studying the crystalline crawlers near Sector 7 Delta. The crawlers were fascinating specimens, silicon-based life forms that absorbed solar radiation through prismatic exoskeletons, communicating through modulated light frequencies. They were also classified as Tier 3 cognitive entities, possessing problem-solving abilities that rivaled Earth's cephalopods. The regulations were explicit: observation only, zero physical contact, no interference with natural behavioral patterns. Elsa grabbed her field kit. "I'm going after him." "Take Enforcer Unit 447, Voshitar commanded. "If he's violated protocol again, he won't have," Elsa interrupted, though her certainty wavered. Alex had a reputation. Back on the Mars Research Initiative, he'd taught a colony of extremophile bacteria to form specific patterns by manipulating their nutrient distribution. Beautiful, groundbreaking, and completely against regulation. The jungle of Kepler 442b was unlike anything in Earth's evolutionary history. Bioluminescent vines pulsed with electromagnetic signals, and the air shimmered with spore clouds that could rewrite RNA sequences on contact. Elsa's hazard suit filtered everything, reducing the alien world to sterile data on her heads-up display. She found Alex in a clearing, and her blood ran cold. He sat cross-legged on the mossy ground, his helmet discarded beside him, a violation that could mean contamination, mutation, or death. But that wasn't what made Elsa freeze. Around him, 17 crystalline crawlers had arranged themselves in a perfect geometric pattern. As she watched, Alex raised his hand, and the creatures shifted in unison, their bodies refracting the planet's violet sunlight into a cascading rainbow that spelled out words in standard galactic script. "Hello, Elsa." "Alex, what the hell have you done?" He looked up, grinning with that same reckless enthusiasm that had gotten him censured twice by the Interstellar Research Ethics Committee. "Elsa, you have to see this. They're not just intelligent, they're linguistic. Watch." He made a series of hand gestures, and the crawlers responded immediately. Their crystalline bodies refracted light in complex patterns, creating three-dimensional images in the air: a star map, a mathematical equation, a representation of their own cellular structure. "You taught them tricks?" Elsa's voice rose. "These are sentient beings on a protected world, and you turned them into performing animals?" "No." Alex stood, his expression suddenly serious. "They taught me." He pointed to the largest crawler, its prismatic surface containing a color spectrum that shouldn't exist in nature. "This one, I've been calling her Prism. She approached me first. Elsa, they've been trying to communicate with us since we arrived. Our translation matrices couldn't interpret light-based language, so they adapted. They learned our gestural communication in 3 hours." Elsa's scanner confirmed what her eyes couldn't believe. The neural complexity readings from the crawlers had increased 47% since Alex's last report. They weren't mimicking. They were evolving. "The Zentari will terminate the expedition," she said quietly. "Voshitar is already suspicious. If he finds out you've made direct contact, influenced their development, they influenced mine." Alex tapped his temple. I haven't been breathing the atmosphere by accident. Their spores carry information, Elsa. Genetic information, cultural information, mathematical concepts we haven't discovered yet. They're a hive mind that communicates through shared DNA. You're contaminated. I'm enhanced. He gestured again, and the crawlers created an image of the human brain, then overlaid it with a crystalline structure that pulsed with light. They're showing me how they think. It's beautiful. And they're asking us, begging us, to help them. Elsa's scanner picked up new readings. More crawlers were emerging from the jungle, hundreds of them, all moving toward the clearing. The translation matrix struggled to interpret the light patterns they generated. But fragments came through. Dying star. Need help. Human different. Human teaches. Human learns. Their sun is in decline, Alex explained. Faster than our models predicted. They need to migrate, but they can't survive space travel in their current form. They think humans, our adaptability, our technology, might be the answer. The sound of heavy footsteps announced Voshatar's arrival, flanked by 2 enforcer units. The commander's optical sensors swept the scene, recording everything. Quarantine Protocol Epsilon, Voshatar announced. Human researcher Alexander Chen, you are hereby... Prism moved forward, her crystalline body refracting light directly into Voshatar's visual spectrum. The Zentari commander went rigid as data flooded his neural implants. When the transmission ended, Voshatar stood silent for a long moment. They have offered us something, he finally said. The complete mapping of Kepler 442b's mineral deposits worth 17 trillion credits, in exchange for one thing. His optical sensors fixed on Alex. They want him, as a teacher, as a bridge. Elsa looked at Alex, who was already nodding. The regulations exist to protect developing species, she said. From exploitation, yes. Alex knelt, placing his hand on Prism's surface. Light and flesh connected. But what if we're not the advanced civilization here? What if we're the ones being taught? The crawlers began to glow, their collective light forming words that hung in the alien air. Together, we evolve. Elsa made her decision. She removed her helmet. The spores tasted like starlight and possibility.